Hip hop is dying has been probably the biggest conversation in rap throughout this entire year. But the thing with saying this isn't a new conversation. This ain't something that just popped up one time in 2025. This is a cycle. This is a conversation we see get repeated every couple years. Let's go back 2006. Nas was really the face of pushing the hip hop is dead agenda. I mean, he dropped an entire album called Hip Hop is Dead, where the premise behind it was him speaking on how he didn't like the state of hip hop and he didn't like the state of the culture.
When you said hip hop is dead, how many like DMs you got from the young?
Was it what to kill me, man? It's dead. I was just because we didn't have no control, and it's like, you know, a lot of people took offense to it that I didn't think was going to take offense. I'm talking about let's wake up and take control.
So this album releases and the controversy it caused was insane because so many different people in the hip hop space felt the tag. So many people felt like, damn, I just came up. I'm just not getting money. I'm just not buzzing in the rap space. Now Nas talking about hip hop is dead. So people was feeling the way about it. More specifically, the South was feeling the way about it, but a good bit of artists did feel away. Jeezy, for example.
More powerful, and people don't know the history of how powerful words are. You know, when he did the hip hop dead, I thought he was talking about us. It was like, right. So, you know, I wanted to be the front guy because at the time it's like, you got to think, I'm just getting on.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just seeing my first legitimate money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just getting my shows going. And then you got the Don in New York saying
like,
hip hop
party's
dead.
over.
Right.
I didn't think about that part. I didn't think that certain
Really?
people would think I'm talking about them.
You didn't know.
Oh no, I'm talking about mainly New York.
Oh wow.
Mainly
The
New
ripple
York.
effects were crazy.
Yeah,
Right,
but I'm
and I was
talking to
real, 'cause
everybody, but I didn't explain it.
Did you
enough.
hear
Right.
when, because Jeezy really, like, you took offense to that and
Well,
you were
I
very
don't
public
think-
about it.
Yeah, they got me. It was early in the morning. I had been doing my promo run. It was like, what do you think he said? Hip hop is dead, it's over. You guys, I'm like, yo, you know, I said what I said, but at the same time, that's how I go though. Respect.
Yeah,
you know
it
what I
was
mean?
amazing
We got on the
energy from you
phone.
too.
We got on the
We got on the
phone.
phone.
Oh, you did?
We chopped it up, and it was like, yo, man, come on. You know how cool Nas is. Come on, bro.
But then it was like the irony of him putting out this project within the same time period. We had all of these amazing hip hop albums coming out. 06, 07, 08, all these great albums was coming out. And I think that can be applied to today, 2025. We seeing this hip hop is dead narrative being fueled so crazy. Yet if we look back at some of these albums that we done got in 2024, 25, 23 even, we done got some great music. So my point is the hip hop is dying narrative being pushed more than ever, and we have no idea what could be released this year. But me saying that don't necessarily mean that hip hop is in the best place as a whole. Numbers wise, we ain't really in the best space, but it ain't just numbers fueling this narrative. A real strange conversation has been coming up right along this hip hop is dying conversation. Rat fatigue, black fatigue, probably one of the worst words these people online could have discovered, because this has actually become a huge talking point with a lot of people. Now, rap fatigue, what the hell is that? To make it make sense, people online are just saying that, look, we tired of rap music. They turn on rap music and hear every artist speaking nonsense. All people do is rap about women, drugs, sex, and a lot of people are tired of it.
So here I am in my 20s, and I've noticed that, like, I really don't reach out to the rap genre anymore. Like, I really don't like to listen to it as much because it spreads so much negativity. Like, most of the music now, it just be talking about drugs, you know, girls, and doing crazy stuff that I don't agree with. You know what I mean? I don't agree with shooting people and robbing people and all this crazy stuff. You know what I mean? So if I don't align with this music, why am I rapping about it? Why am I, you know, rapping along with these people and I don't agree with any of the things that they're saying? Now, you can't tell me that after a while listening to this type of music that it wouldn't affect you. I'm not saying you immediately gonna go and slide on somebody or you gonna do some crazy shit, but it's definitely gonna, you know, affect your mental. Nowadays, I find myself listening to music that's gonna make me happy, listening to music that's gonna uplift me, or listening to music that just puts me in a generally good mood. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to listen to nothing that's gonna, you know, weigh down my spirit, nothing that's gonna make me sad, nothing that's gonna make me feel weird, you know what I mean? Or nothing that I don't align with.
And I mean, that's an understandable point until you actually think about it. Not every artist out here is just focusing on them points that people bringing up. Not every artist you listen to is talking about sex, talking about money, talking about drugs. You get what I'm saying? Not every artist is like that. You are just choosing to turn on these artists. You turned on this song by this artist that just so happened to focus on this negative point that you brought up. And to really go against this whole dumbass rap fatigue point, if we look through 24, 25, hell, even next year's gonna be some albums like this. There's plenty of projects where, plenty of big rap albums, where the entire premise premise ain't just nonsense, ain't just sex, money, drugs. Take Chromacopia, for example. One of the biggest albums that done released in the past year. This wasn't just a, oh, I'm tired of creator, I fuck bitches, I get money. No, this was him really digging into himself as a person, going through the troubles of his life, going through so much more than just surface level music. His song Like Him, for example, that was huge. It was him diving into his father and how he really didn't know him and how he didn't want to follow in the footsteps of his dad. Another song off this project, Take Your Mask Off. The title is exactly what the song sounds like. He dove into people who are hiding their true colors from the world, hiding their true selves, putting up this facade to all the people around them in their life. And there's plenty of other points and examples and projects that I could go through that I really enjoyed this past year. That's not just rapping about delinquent shit or just rapping about negativity. So this rap fatigue thing is one of them points where just walking by and you hear somebody say it, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense, until you put any thought behind it. Because once you think about it, you see the flaws in everything that they're saying. These people are specifically choosing to turn on bullshit, then get mad when they hearing bullshit, when that's not what they had to listen to. And if rap fatigue is a thing, then you could say the same thing for every other genre of music. This is a point I done delved into 100 times throughout my videos. These country artists, these pop artists, these rock artists, they all speak about the same shit that rappers do, just in a way. Yet they never get nowhere near as much backlash as these rappers. They never get scrutiny like these rappers do. So not all rap music is what the people who use this rap fatigue word think it is. It's so much more to the culture than just that. And then it's like every time you hear somebody talk about, yeah, I got rap fatigue, you ask them what they listen to. They listen to the most generic shit. They listen to people who make this music, who make music talking about what they talk about, and then try to apply this one artist to the culture as a whole. Now, I'm not saying, oh, negativity and gang rapping and the bullshit being rapped about isn't a problem, because it is. A lot of artists do push nothing but nonsense and negativity, but that's not every artist. So don't try to categorize the entire culture as whatever point you trying to make.
This is coming from the biggest money bag yo, 21, Drake, I mean, you name it. I used to love it. When I stopped listening to it, call me weird, but I feel like my values of myself.
I got a white girl talking to me about how big of a bag yo fan she is, with the caption, why most rap music is actually terrible. Telling me about how big of a money bag yo, 21 Savage and Drake fan she is, with a caption, why most rap is actually terrible.
I don't know about y'all, but to me, the power of the tongue is strong. And I truly believe that what you listen to can have an effect on your mind, your thoughts, your actions.
Yeah, these things are true, right? I'm not going to trivialize the point. I do think that there's power in the tongue. I do think that there is, you know, if you consume something of like too much, there are effects, but that's usually, especially when you're probably an adult, limited to food, my nigga. That's usually limited to food. If you have a working, functioning brain, you know how to filter through the things that you're listening to as entertainment and entertainment only. This is something that I listen to in my leisure. This is something that I listen to when I want to have a good time, but it's not something to model my life after.
Honestly, I think this whole rap fatigue turn, this black fatigue situation has a lot of microaggressions toward black people in it. Get mad at me in my comments about saying this if you want to. I could care less. I think there's a reason why rap fatigue is a thing. Hell, black fatigue, these two terms be getting used interchangeably. And to be honest, I think these terms became so big because it originally started with these same people who going around saying that rap music is devil music. You listen to rap music, you automatically this kind of person. You automatically this stereotype. And I think this same narrative that people use in real life, this same motive that these people use toward minorities and black people in real life is slowly being forced upon the music industry. You go online, you go on TikTok, you see these narratives being pushed using the same logic that some of these racists be using against black people. But it's just being said in a different way. It's just being put in a way where you don't think about it like that until you really dive into it, which I think also has a lot to do with rap being disregarded so much when it comes to music as a conversation as a whole. You think about all these times where music is being brought up, all genres. People love to treat rap a certain way. People love to look at rap and be like, you know what, that's not really music. This is just some shit that people listen to. This is people rhyming. This ain't real music. This ain't pop. This ain't whatever else niggas want to compare it to. And that's the problem. It really is fueling this rap fatigue narrative, this weird little conversation that people is having online. So not only did we have this whole rap fatigue thing going on, but then hip hop has been on the decline numerically. Now this ain't a point I'm a super deep dive into because that's generic as hell. Everybody done spoke about how hip hop numbers is down, how we not #1 in all genres no more. And I kind of dove into this in my sales video from the other day, but hip hop isn't at the top of the charts like it used to be, and we understand that. One article wrote this on the situation. It was only in 2018 when hip-hop surpassed rock and roll to become the most popular genre in the US, but its glory was short-lived. In 2023, when hip-hop celebrated its 50th birthday, the music genre that gave a voice to millions seemed to be losing its appeal. While 2023 was marked with historic performances by hip-hop royalty at major events, the newer generation struggled to make a dent on the chart. In fact, media outlets were flooded with think pieces about the decline of hip-hop after it experienced a fall in the market share and a failure to dominate music charts for the first time in a long while. Basically, it's saying hip-hop's growth has really slowed down compared to the early 2010s or compared to other time periods. So numbers are down, but like with everything else, numbers doesn't mean everything. It's not the end all be all. Nothing in life is just black and white. So yeah, numbers might be down, but we still have gotten some really good hip-hop music. We still have gotten some great projects in the past year or two. And I think, going back to a point I made in my previous video, people hold too much value to sales, too much value to numbers, when in reality, none of this shit determines true quality. The only thing that determines if an album is good or not is if the actual album is good or not if it did 300K first week. But circling back to the point I made at the start of this video, the conversation we were having. This rap is dying combo isn't something new. We done seen it repeat itself time and time again. I mean, we've been hearing the same thing since hell, the 80s, the 90s, for example. It's a history lesson time. During this time period, the 80s, the 90s, what some people feel like is like the golden age of hip hop, where music was at its best, where it had the most care and thought put behind it. Well, during this same period, one big artist who was pushing the narrative that hip hop was low-key dying and going into the wrong place was KRS-One. During the 90s, he felt like hip-hop was going in the wrong direction, toward that gang violence, gang culture side. With it becoming so prominent, he didn't like it. And this was somebody that lost somebody to violence. So him hearing all this violence being pushed probably had him feeling away, which fueled why he said what he said. KRS-One was close with this DJ Scott LaRock, who ended up passing away in '87 over a female that he was messing with back then. Basically, he was messing with this girl. Her ex found out. He didn't like it. Problems rose, and they ended up killing DJ Scott LaRock. He got shot in the back of the head. And when I say him and KSR-One rose together, they really did come up together. They were a duo. And after this DJ passed away, KSR-One went solo. So back during this era, back during the rise of the music that came out during the 90s, he didn't support it. And even today, he still feels the same way. Revolt spoke to him not too long ago, and this is what their article wrote. Today's mainstream rap is quite different than when hip-hop was first introduced to the world in the 1970s. He said they ignored us for 50 years, now the 50th year is here, and now come on, we know the game. That's the difference between real hip-hop and fake stuff. Real hip-hop is free. We ain't with the corporations. We ain't messing with none of that. We built our culture from the center. Now we're building theirs. We started with breaking, MCing, graffiti art, and DJing, the core 4 elements. This is hip-hop because we wanted peace, love, unity, and having fun. That's why we did what we did. We put it in all our movies, all the DVDs, all the first rhymes, everything. Now you can come along and say, man, F all that. I just want these money, and these white folks gonna give me this money for me to act crazy, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do it, and F the culture. That's a traitor. So basically, he feeling like a lot of these artists who come out and they push this nonsense and they fuel whatever narrative that their labels want them to fuel, they're traitors. They not really a part of hip-hop. And for the past 30 years, he been saying the same thing. He ain't really like the direction hip-hop done went. And it goes back to my point. This ain't the first time we done seen somebody in the industry, anybody with influence, come out and say that hip-hop is in a bad spot. So for right now, us seeing this conversation again is nothing new. Hell, we can even go more recent, 2015, 2016, back when hip-hop was changing more into the sound that we got today. We had the whole older side of hip-hop, the whole other side who didn't support that new wave, basically saying, look, hip-hop is changing. I don't like it. So in other words, that means hip-hop is dying. Point is, history has repeated itself multiple times. But if we look at the rap landscape today, 2025 music, 2025 rap, so much has happened. We go to 2024, we had the whole Kendrick and Drake beef, where basically the biggest rapper in hip-hop, the face of hip-hop, got cooked, got made to look a fool. So not only did that happen, but we had Drake suing Kendrick, causing even more issues within hip-hop as a whole. He bringing out these lawsuits where these labels is digging into Kendrick real life over these diss tracks. He got the labels trying to scrounge up information, personal information about Kendrick to use against him. We got Drake basically trying to sue a nigga over some diss tracks, which is a terrible look for hip hop and would have been a terrible thing to happen if these lawsuits actually went through. My thing is, these past few years really has been crazy. A lot has been going on with hip hop, and not all of it positive, a lot of it negative, a lot of it ruining sentiment within the community. And so, do I think hip hop is truly dying? I don't think so. I think, like with everything else on the internet today, it's just a narrative being fueled by TikTok and people who don't really care about hip hop. These are surface level individuals who don't really understand music, who don't understand the culture, fueling these narratives, making these TikToks, getting 1 million views, having people really think, damn, maybe rap is dying. Now, what do y'all think? Is hip hop really dying, or is this conversation being blown out of proportion and it's just something that we gonna see come and go?